Good evening, everyone. We are officially calling this meeting to order. Today is September 17th, 2025. The time is now 6:12 p.m. This is our second budget hearing for fiscal year 25-26. Please remember to silence your phones. And Madam Clerk, can you please call the roll?
Councilwoman Nicole Reynoso.
Present.
Councilman Rafael Pinedo.
Present.
Councilwoman Digna Cabral.
Present.
Vice Mayor Maureen Porras. Mayor Christy Fraga.
Present.
Mayor, you have quorum.
Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance led by Councilwoman Reynoso.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, agenda order of business. Is there anything that would be added, deleted to this meeting, Madam Manager?
No, Mayor.
Okay, perfect. All right, so we're going to go ahead and go into the public comments portion of this meeting. The public hearing is now open for anyone who would like to speak on an item on this agenda or germane to this council. Please remember to speak in a respectful manner. Please approach the podium. State your name and address for the record. Remember, you have 3 minutes to speak. I'm going to go ahead and start with those who have filled out comment cards. If you haven't filled out a comment card, you will still have an opportunity to come up when I say that the floor is open again. For now, we will start with Mr. Odel Torres.
Hello.
Good afternoon, Mr. Torres.
Good evening, Madam Mayor and council members and staff. My name is Odel Torres, 10250 Northwest 66th Street, Doral. I'm here to talk about a couple of issues that I have concerns. I'm the president of the landmark at Doral, representing over 3,000 residents, and I get all the complaints. So I'll bring it back to you guys to see if you guys can help us with work some of those issues that we have. The first issue that we have is the odor. There's been a lot of complaints on the odor for some reason. Then people think that the Covanta is back open for business, and I'm trying to explain to them that that is not the case. However, they do complain that there is smell like they're burning tires, which I know that's illegal. And I know the only thing they're doing right now, they're still doing, I believe, is just treading the tires. So is anything that the city can, I don't know, put out something, or can we perhaps invite some of the homeowners or residents to come over to the plant to make sure that that is the case, that is not they're not doing anything other than just shredding tires. The other thing I would like to talk about is the mosquitoes. There's been a lot of complaints on the mosquitoes. We have called the 311 and they have come over to the community. However, they come in, they don't find whatever they look for, and they say, well, it's okay. But it's not okay because we do have a lot of mosquitoes. I know that belongs to the county, but it's anything that the city has any power to it or has any plans to do any control, or we would like to get involved in that one and see if you can help us with that. And lastly, I would like to talk about the budget, which you guys are going to discuss today. I know how difficult it is to get everybody happy. As a president, I have been working with a couple of budgets myself, and I know it's difficult not to raise. We would like to keep it the same or lower, and that's not, unfortunately, that's not the case. So I know you guys got a tough decision to make. The only thing I hope is that whatever decision you guys make, whatever monies we have for the city is used well, used accordingly, and I'm here to help. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Torres. Regarding the mosquitoes, we can get you an answer. We have gotten some other complaints. We did talk about it this week, so I can address that with you after if you'd like.
Okay.
And on the odors, we can have code compliance, have somebody check it out.
Thank you much.
Thank you.
All right.
All right, would anybody else like to speak? This is your reasonable opportunity. Please approach the podium. I have no more comment cards at this time. You can also speak when we open up for public hearing. Being none, public hearing is now closed, and we will move into our public hearing items. Madam Clerk, can you please read the instructions just for a refresher?
Absolutely, Madam Mayor. Good evening, Mayor and Council members. Just as a refresher, the process for the second budget hearing will be as follows. The first item will be the millage. I would read the item into the record. Then I would allow the administration to make the presentation and then table the item. Then we will move to the budget ordinance, discuss the budget and reach consensus on changes, and then table the budget. Then we will go back to the millage, take it from the table, have more discussion, have a public hearing on the item, and motion on the item. Then we will go back to the ordinance, take it from the table, discuss it, have a public hearing on the item, and motion it. The last item on the agenda would be the item for the positions, which that's not a public hearing, that's just done after the budget.
Yes, thank you, Madam Clerk. Okay, my colleagues, this should be painless today, hopefully, and we should be able to get through it quite quickly. I'm going to just remind you all the same thing I said last time. Let's be courteous of each other's time and comments and try and get through this. So I'm gonna go ahead and open up for the first item. Madam Clerk, please read the first item into the record.
Item 5A, a resolution of the mayor and the city council of the city of Doral, Florida, establishing and adopting a final millage rate and levy of ad valorem taxes for fiscal year 25-26 in the amount of 1.7166 mils, which is 8.13% greater than the rollback rate, to balance the general fund for fiscal year 25-26. Establishing the rollback rate to be 1.5875 mils, establishing and adopting the debt service millage rate for fiscal year 25-26 in the amount of 0.4810 mils for the general obligation bonds, parks and recreation projects, series 2019 and 2021, providing for implementation, providing for incorporation of recitals, and providing for an effective date.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and open the public hearing. Public hearing is now open for item 5A, or also known as 25-6338. Anyone who would like to speak, please approach the podium. Being none, public hearing is now closed. Madam Clerk, let the record reflect no one is chosen to speak at this time, and I would need a motion to table.
Motion to table.
Motion to table by Councilman Pinedo, second by Councilwoman Reynoso. If there's no further questions, Madam Clerk, please call the roll to motion.
Motion to table made by Councilman Pinedo, seconded by Councilman Reynoso. Councilman Pinedo?
Yes.
Councilman Reynoso?
Yes.
Councilman Cabral?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Porras?
Yes.
Mayor Fraga?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Okay, Madam Clerk, please read item 5B.
Item 5B, bear with me, Mayor and council members. Ordinance number 2025-36, adopting the budget for fiscal year 25-26. An ordinance of the mayor and the city council of the city of Doral, Florida, finalizing and adopting the budgets for the general fund, the transportation fund, the People's Transportation Plan Fund, the Park Impact Fee Fund, the Police Impact Fee Fund, the Development Services Technology Fee Fund, the Building Fund, the Public Arts Program Fund, the Debt Service Fund, the Capital Improvements Fund, the Capital Asset Reserve Fund, the Vehicle Replacement Fund, the Parks General Obligation Bond Series 2021 Capital Project Fund, the Stormwater Fund, the Other Post-Employment Benefits Fund, establishing the Capital Improvement Projects Division and retitling the Office of the Charter Enforcement to the Office of the Inspector General of the City of Doral for the fiscal year beginning October 1, 2025 and ending September 30th, 2026, as reviewed, modified, and approved by the City Council at the meetings held on September 3rd, 2025 and September 17, 2025, authorizing the expenditure of funds appropriated in the budget, authorizing the levy and collection of taxes on real and personal property and other revenues necessary to meet the expenditures provided in the budget, specifying the methods by which grants and gifts are addressed in the budget, providing for transmittal by the city clerk, implementation, incorporation, recital, severability, conflicts, and an effective date. This was approved on first reading on September 3rd.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm gonna go ahead and open up public comments. Public comments is now open for item 5B-25-6324. Anyone like to speak, please approach the podium. Being none, public hearing is now closed. Madam Clerk, let the record reflect no one is chosen to speak at this time. And now we will have a discussion about the budget before we take up the millage rate for the final time and the budget for the final time. Is there any comments from the city manager's office about the second reading?
Good evening, Mayor and council members. I'm pleased to present the City of Doral's updated proposed operating and capital budget for fiscal year 2026, beginning October 1st, 2025, and ending September 30th, 2026. The proposed FY 2026 budget is guided by and is consistent with the vision, mission, core values, and goals and objectives of the City of Doral. The overall budget is prepared to meet the criteria of the Council's strategic priorities. It also reflects administration's commitment to sound financial and operational practices that realize our growing community's needs and expectations of exceptional services. On September 3rd, 2025, the Mayor and City Council heard this item on first reading. The FY 2026 budget item was approved with a vote 3-2. The proposed budget has also been updated for changes in revenue projections and expenditures detailed in Exhibit A. This updated proposed budget remains a balanced budget with the use of reserves only for capital outlay and transfers out to capital improvement funds. As your city manager, I would like to express my sincere appreciation to the members of the City Council for their continued guidance and support throughout the development of this proposed budget. And at this time, I would like to turn the presentation over to our Finance Director, Solangel Perez.
Good evening, Mayor and City Council members, Madam Clerk, City Manager, and City Attorney. On August 13, 2025, City Council conducted a public workshop to discuss the proposed budget. And on September 3rd, the Mayor and City Council heard the item on first reading. The fiscal year 2026 proposed budget remains a balanced budget with the use of reserves only for capital outlay and transfers out to capital improvement funds. The budget is balanced with an in-use of reserves in the amount of $18,970,368. The total general fund proposed expenditures for fiscal year 2026 decreased by a net of $13,124 to a total of $118,001,151. Again, this includes transfers out of $15,440,128 for a total capital outlay of $18.9 million. The proposed budget was updated for changes in revenue projections and expenditures detailed fully in Exhibit A, separated by workshop and first hearing. Thank you, and I welcome any questions you may have at this time.
Thank you, Ms. Perez. Any questions for finance or for the administration at this time? This would be our opportunity to discuss any final comments on the budget. If not, then I will accept a motion to table the item.
Motion to table.
Motion to table by Councilman Pinedo,
Second.
second by Councilwoman Reynoso. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Motion to table ordinance number 2025-36 on second reading made by Councilman Pinedo, seconded by Councilwoman Reynoso. Councilman Pinedo?
Yes.
Councilwoman Reynoso?
Yes.
Councilwoman Cabral?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Porras?
Yes.
Mayor Fraga?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Okay, Madam Clerk, we go to item 5C now, and then we'll take up from the table?
5A.
Oh, you want to take up from the table? Okay. Okay, so now I need a motion to take up item 5A from the table.
Motion.
Motion to take item 5A from the table made by Councilman Reynoso, second by Councilman Pinedo. Madam Clerk?
Motion to take the item from the table made by Councilwoman Reynoso, seconded by Councilman Pinedo. Councilwoman Reynoso?
Yes.
Councilman Pinedo?
Yes.
Councilwoman Cabral?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Porras?
Yes.
Mayor Fraga?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Okay, Madam Clerk, can you please read item 5A into the record?
Yes, Madam Mayor. A resolution of the Mayor and the City Council of the City of Doral, Florida, establishing and adopting a final millage rate and levy of ad valorem taxes for fiscal year 25-26 in the amount of 1.7166 mils, which is 8.13% greater than the rollback rate, to balance the general fund for fiscal year 25-26, establishing the rollback rate to be 1.5875 mils, establishing and adopting the debt service millage rate for fiscal year 25-26 in the amount of 0.4810 mils for the general obligation bonds, parks and recreation projects, series 2019 and 2021, providing for implementation, incorporation, recitals, and an effective date.
All right. Let me open up public comments one last time. Public comments is now open for the final time on item 5A, also known as 25-6338. Anyone who would like to speak on this item and this item alone, please approach the podium. Being none, public comments now closed. Madam Clerk, if the record reflect, no one has chosen to speak at this time. And Madam City Manager, do you have any comments about the millage rate?
Good evening once again, Mayor and City Council members. On the July 30th, 2025 special council meeting, the proposed operating millage rate was set at 1.7166 mils with a rollback rate of 1.5875. The debt service millage rate is 0.4810 for fiscal year 2025-2026. Please let us know if there are any questions for staff.
Okay, thank you very much. I believe that this is consistent with the same reading as last time. So I would need a motion for the millage rate.
Motion.
Motion to approve by Councilman Pinedo, second by Councilwoman Reynoso. Is there any comments? Now is your final opportunity on our 2025-2026 millage rate.
I do have some comments.
Yes, Councilwoman Reynoso?
Thank you. Through the mayor.
Yes.
Deciding on a millage rate is one of the most important roles and responsibility we have as council. This decision is the baseline of the quality of service our residents receive, the safety of our neighborhoods, and the overall care we give to our city. This budget cycle, like every other budget cycle, has been analyzed by two different millage rates, a rollback and the same millage rate we've kept for the last for the last 3 years. If approved, this would be the fourth. Two of my colleagues have supported the rollback rate, the vice mayor more actively than the other. And the reason why she has been so supportive may not be as obvious as one may think. But I am here to tell you, it is not about the residents, it is not about protecting taxpayers, or about fiscal responsibility. It's about creating a political bulletin points for her 2026 campaign. If IT can roll the video, please.
I just want to thank our city manager, deputy manager, assistant city manager, our finance department for working very diligently on this and the presentation. I'm actually very happy that we are able to propose keeping the same millage rate and hopefully continue to be the lowest in the county. Therefore, I support keeping the current millage rate, and I'll make a motion to approve the proposed millage rate as recommended by our department.
We have a motion to approve and a second.
Thank you. So this was the video from last year's budget. I want the residents to know that I will dedicate all of my efforts to making sure they know the truth. So what could possibly be so different between last year's budget and this budget? For one, the difference of opinion from last year is exactly the point that I'm trying to make. The rollback rate for last year was 1.5615. 1.5615. This year, our rollback rate is 1.5875. That is the difference of 0.026, not even half of a penny. Yet, let's be clear. Again, this is not about the residents. It is a political play. This year, we have online Central Park. We do not have a forecast of how that park is going to affect our finances. We do not know if we're gonna have good revenues. We don't know how bad our losses may be. But last year when the decision was taken, I would like to think it wasn't fiscally responsible to roll back the rate. This year, I would have to say the same. So in that spirit, in terms of the millage rate, a rollback is not a taxpayer-friendly approach. The term is also a little misleading. It strays away from the priorities of our residents and the future our residents have entrusted us to effectuate for the city. I will be in support of keeping our current millage rate, as it will allow for us to keep investing in the priorities that make Doral a city of excellence. And I will say that 100 times over because I think that's the new bar, the standard that we're trying to aim for. Some of the things that we hope to do is enhance our public safety, our infrastructures, our parks, and community programs. And with that, I'd like to say thank you and continue on with the motion.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Anyone else would like to make any comments at this time? Okay, being none, I just want to thank administration one more time for their hard work. Really, I think that we executed on all the things necessary in this budget and with this millage rate, and we'll have the ability to meet the demands of our community with the service, the quality of service that they deserve. So appreciate it for all of your hard work and efforts. And if there's nothing else, then Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Motion to approve made by Councilman Pinedo, seconded by Councilwoman Reynoso. Councilman Pinedo?
Yes.
Councilwoman Reynoso?
Yes.
Councilwoman Cabral?
No.
Vice Mayor Porras?
No.
Mayor Fraga?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Okay, we move on to the next item.
You need a motion to take?
Motion to take from the table from someone, please.
Motion to take.
Motion to
from
take from the
table.
table from Councilman Pinedo. I need a second.
Second.
Second by Councilwoman Reynoso. Madam Clerk, please call roll.
Motion to take ordinance number 2025-36 from the table made by Councilman Pinedo, seconded by Councilman Reynoso. Councilman Pinedo?
Yes.
Councilman Reynoso?
Yes.
Councilwoman Cabral?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Porras?
Yes.
Mayor Fraga?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Okay, Madam Clerk, please go ahead and read the item into the record.
Item 5B, ordinance number 2025-36, adopting the budget for fiscal year 25-26. An ordinance of the mayor and the city council of the city of Doral, Florida, finalizing and adopting the budgets for the general fund, the transportation fund, the people's transportation plan fund, the park impact fee fund, the police impact fee fund, the development services technology fee fund, the building fund, the public arts program fund, the debt service fund, the capital improvements fund, the capital assets reserve fund, the vehicle replacement fund, the parks general obligation fund, series 2021 capital project fund, the stormwater fund, the other post-employment benefits fund, establishing the capital improvement projects division, and retitling the Office of the Charter Enforcement to the Office of the Inspector General of the City of Doral for the fiscal year beginning October 1, 2025 and ending September 30th, 2026, as reviewed, modified, and approved by the City Council at the meetings held on September 3rd, 2025 and September 17, 2025, authorizing the expenditure of funds inappropriated in the budget, authorizing the levy and collection of taxes on real and personal property and other revenues necessary to meet the expenditures provided in the budget, specifying the methods by which grants and gifts are addressed in the budget, providing for transmittal by the city clerk, implementation, incorporation, or recital, severability, conflicts, and an effective date. This was approved on first reading on September 3rd.
All right, thank you, Madam Clerk. I'm going to go ahead and open up the public hearing for item 5B, also known as 25-6324. Anyone who would like to speak on this item and this item alone, please approach the podium. This is the item on our fiscal year budget, 2025-2026. Being none. Public hearing is now closed. Madam Clerk, let the record reflect, no one has chosen to speak at this time. If there is no more comments from the staff, which I believe were incorporated in the last reading, then I will entertain a motion if there's no discussion.
Motion.
Motion to approve by Councilman Pinedo. Need a second.
Motion, I have a comment too, Mayor.
Second by Councilwoman Reynoso, and I turn the floor over to Councilwoman Reynoso for comments.
Thank you. All right, so for this item, I want to thank the staff, the whole finance department, our directors, our city manager's office, and those who participated in our strategic plan. The strategic plan, for those who do not know, is the vision and the priorities, while the budget provides the resources to make that vision real. A budget is more than numbers. It's a reflection of our values and the future we envision for Doral. And for me, that future is rooted in keeping Doral a true city of excellence, which means ensuring every dollar is spent wisely with transparency and fiscal responsibility at the center of all our decisions. Our residents work hard for their money, and they expect us to be diligent as to how we manage it. And here are some highlights. This budget continues to promote a strong workforce within our city. With 25 full-time park positions and various part-time positions available, which is great for students and our seniors. We also have positions that take action on behalf of the residents and business owners to address and resolve matters that are important to our constituents. And those that help are our constituent services and our Hispanic outreach coordinators. Our code department will have a personnel dedicated to support community pride and safety by monitoring our public spaces and business areas, addressing litter and upkeeping to preserve the highest standards for our residents. We are also investing in how we communicate, expanding our digital advertising and social media presence, so residents can be more engaged and more informed. We continue to enrich the lives of our residents through cultural arts, youth sports, senior programs, and support for our special needs community. At the same time, we are maintaining and improving our parks, including the playground areas of Meadow, and sealing windows and repairing the restrooms in Morgan Levy. Looking ahead, we are beginning conceptual designs for a parking garage, which should and will generate revenue at Central Park, as well as a modern, secure, technology-driven police headquarters that will allow
for our police department and our public works to have their own dedicated facility. A police parks division has also been added, reinforcing our commitment to safety in each and every one of our parks. And with that in mind, I want to address something that has bothered me, and I'm sure others throughout the budget cycle. I know my colleague, Councilman Pinedo, has been very vocal about this as well. Two of our colleagues have repeatedly disregarded a role of our Sergeant at Arms by reducing it to a mere driver. I understand how old political party beliefs that the vice mayor had can still linger from her transition, but let me be clear of my beliefs. The Sergeant at Arms is not a driver, and to say otherwise is not only inaccurate, but disrespectful. He is one of the first who is around us and will handle a situation, even if it means putting his own life at risk. A Sergeant at Arms position is one of responsibility, discipline, and security. And when we say we support our police, that includes every single role that they serve in. To diminish one officer's role is to diminish the credibility and professionalism of the entire department. And that's not how you back the blue. In closing, I support this budget as it shows that we are not only meeting today's needs, but are also preparing for tomorrow, investing in safety, infrastructure, and quality of life. That ends my comments.
Thank you, Councilwoman Reynoso. Any other comments?
I have some quick ones.
Okay, Vice Mayor Porras?
So I just want to reiterate what I said during the first budget hearing. I support rolling back the rate for the millage rate, and I also support relief for property tax. And it's going to happen. In fact, next year, I'm going to have the same position. We need to reduce wasteful spending. We really need to reduce wasteful services, programming, and that does not include essential services. And it is something that a lot of different elected officials in different levels, on different levels, including the county, the state, they're all going to work together, and we all have to work with them to make this happen. So I will see my colleagues again next year, hopefully supporting that, because it appears that they're actually starting to support it. And I'm going to continue advocating for it. It should have been a priority this year. It wasn't, and that's okay. In fact, during the last 3 years, the budget has passed 3-2. It's never been unanimous for a reason. And it's gonna continue, more than likely, to be a 3-2 budget because there is no real leadership or real consensus of how we spend taxpayers' money. And I strongly believe that it is your money, not ours. And we're going to have to find a way to reduce all the wasteful spending that we have in this budget by next year, because come November of next year, there will be a constitutional ballot amendment that's going to provide either relief for taxpayers or some other form of relief. And I know that the majority of Floridians are going to approve it. So we need to start prepping. And I really hope my colleagues understand that. I'm very flattered that the councilwoman is observing me and is personally calling me out. I'm very flattered. I'm gonna focus on speaking with you guys and speaking with the residents. And I'm gonna focus on, again, making sure that next year we continue to advocate for property tax relief. So with that, again, I'm gonna reiterate my support for lowering the millage rate. That's why I didn't vote for keeping it where it is. And I'm going to vote against this budget. I do wanna thank the administration, I really do, all of the staff, because I know you guys worked very hard on this. So I commend you for what you do. Obviously, ultimately, this becomes a decision from us up here, and I want you to know that I appreciate your efforts and work. Thank you.
Okay, any other comments?
I have another comment.
Let me see if anybody else has other comments, and then yes, Councilman Pinero, we'll go right back.
Thank you, Mayor. I certainly want to thank the administration as well because, as I said during the last meeting, I think you guys did a great job in putting this budget together because it really reflects what Doral is. I mean, when we speak about Doral, yes, we're the lowest, and we're going to continue to be the lowest millage rate in Miami-Dade County. But I can tell you how other cities are actually looking after us or trying to look after us in the sense of how well we have been putting this budget in the last couple of years and this high quality services that we provide because when we speak about services we have to keep in mind that yes, our population keeps increasing, not only our resident side but our commercial side as well, and we have a responsibility as well, and we have to be responsible when it comes to approving a budget that makes sense for everybody. So since, and I like to call this council the council of common sense, it's reasonable for us to move forward with a budget that not only increase the safety for our residents, which it has been, in my case, my number one priority since I got elected, to make sure that we have more police presence and that Doral remains, as it is today, the safest city in Miami-Dade County as well, or the lowest in crime rates. So that certainly has to be a priority. Number two, when it comes to programming, when we speak about programs for special needs, for seniors, and for children's overall, it's something that we have to every year to keep considering because again, we have more residents and we're going to keep having more residents for the next years to come. There is a projection, 100,000 residents by 2027, 2028. So what are we going to do? I mean, we're going to stay behind in services and we're going to do what other cities, unfortunately, are doing, that they're making cuts as we speak to their services. It's not that they're making cuts to their millage rate. As a matter of fact, they're increasing millage rate because they need to provide services. So the fact that we're not increasing the millage rate and at the same time we're increasing the number of services for you guys speak highly not only about the administration, but also the majority of the council that are voting yes for this budget. And I know we're going to be hearing about everything that is happening at the state level when it comes to property taxes, reforms, and all that, which I do agree something needs to happen. I think that we all agree that something needs to happen. But at the same time, we have to remind that it has to be something that makes sense, something that is responsible. Because it will be easier for me to come up here and say, you know what? If it's something that really is going to help the residents, instead of lowering the millage rate to the rollback, which only is going to save you $5 a month, you know what? Let's go ahead and eliminate the millage rate. Why not? That sounds great, politically speaking. Mm-hmm. I would love to do it. But it will be responsible for me to say that and to do something like that. You know why? Because that will mean cutting services. And then you're going to start complaining to the administration, to your elected officials. And not only that, keep in mind this as well. When you hear, because it's public, the county mayor, they're facing a deficit. And you hear the county mayor reflect, she made a great statement when it comes to eliminating the property taxes. She is concerned. Most of county commissioners are concerned about that. Most state legislators are concerned about that because they haven't found a way how to replace it. Because it's easy to say it, but how are you going to replace it? There's no free lunch. Money has to come from somewhere. So, and speaking about how popular this is right now, there is a poll that came out, and I'd be more than glad to share this with my colleagues. 68% of Florida voters support keeping property taxes as they are because right now there's not a clear solution about how it's going to be replaced. 68%. 77% Democrats, 61% Republicans, 69% independents. Support keeping the property taxes instead of paying a 12% state sales tax rate, which it has been proposed. It's one of the options. Which, by the way, if we start paying 12% state sales tax, will be the highest in the nation. So just think about that when you hear about, because we're going to be talking about this for the next year until the next election cycle. It's popular, it is. It sounds great, absolutely. But until we don't have a clear direction of something that makes sense, not for Doral, for the state, it's something that you're going to hear a lot, and we're going to have a lot of discussions about this. There are different options, yes. They're a great option for a relief for seniors, yes, and I will support that 100%. I think they deserve to have a relief. But just to come, a blank check and say, we're going to eliminate property taxes, it will be irresponsible. So just keep that in mind, because it's something that we're going to be hearing a lot. And again, we have to also be responsible in how we say it and what we tell the residents, because it's not because you just want to sound popular and you want to create a sense that what we're doing today, it's against you, or it will affect your quality of life, or it will affect that you're going to pay more, because it's not true. That would be a lie. So again, I'm confident, and I'm pleased to see that this budget reflects what Doral is today and what Doral is going to be for the next year, especially because the services that we're going to be providing to you. When you see the numbers, when you see that for the first time we're adding $1 million, over $1 million for programming, for special needs seniors, for families, for art and culture activities. For the first time in Doral history, feel proud of that, because you're going to enjoy it. We're going to be there. As a matter of fact, my colleagues, the ones that decide to vote no, they're going to be there too, celebrating with you guys what we're approving today. So once again, I just want to congratulate the city manager, city attorney, the administration, the finance department. You guys just did a fine job with this budget. So I'm happy to approve it, and we move forward. And again, we're gonna celebrate another great year in the city of Doral. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. Do you have any comments, Councilwoman Cabral? Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and make some comments, then I'll turn it back over to Councilwoman Reynoso too, because I do want to address some things. First, I want to thank my colleagues for their comments. I echo many of them. I do want to just state, though, after what's been said, a couple things. So just this week, actually, I met with the co-chair of the Property Tax Committee for the state. And Councilman Pinedo is right on point. There are a lot of unanswered questions about what this legislation may look like. But I do want to clarify one thing that has been said, which I think is extremely important. To say or assume that we are not preparing for a change is inaccurate. As a matter of fact, this budget does exactly that. This budget is setting up the city for success, for future revenue generating assets, so that we're not dependent on property taxes, so that we can continue to be the city with the lowest millage rate, so we can continue to promise our residents lower taxes, so we can continue to invest in quality service, but not having to put that burden on residents. So to say and sit here that we are not preparing for that we haven't been more efficient, that we aren't looking at wasteful spending is completely inaccurate. And that's where my concern lies. Because I don't think that we do any service. As a matter of fact, we do a disservice to our community by going out there and spreading false information, misguiding, misleading our residents, and basically just being a mouthpiece for other agencies. Our job is to protect home rule. Our job is to protect our communities. As a matter of fact, that's the voters' will. By voting to become a city, they voted to tax themselves And while our job is to make sure we have a fiduciary responsibility and to be fiscally responsible and make sure that we keep it as low as possible, there is a service added and a level of prestige in living in a city. You get quicker response time from your police. You're able to call your local elected officials. You've got beautiful streets because you've got code compliance. You have new businesses opening up because you have incentives. Those are the benefits of being a municipality. Otherwise, we would have stayed as unincorporated. The reason why we incorporated was we wanted those additional level of service. We wanted to be able to have our own police force and be a safe city and decide on how we govern ourselves locally. That's why we have 10 beautiful parks and all the amenities that we have. And even with all that, I would say we're probably one of the best run cities because we're able to make the responsible decisions. So I've already thanked the staff. I can't thank them enough. They know how grateful we are for the work that they've done, from the administration down to every single one of the departments, because I know it takes every single one of you to really put your heads together and find ways to be efficient, and they have. And the direction was to be more efficient. As a matter of fact, for those who participated in the strategic plan, that was our direct call, was we need to become more efficient, more streamlined, making sure that we're not duplicating efforts and services and positions, making sure that our focus is on service to the community. I couldn't have said it better than Councilwoman Reynoso. Stated every single one of the priorities that we got elected to do and to deliver to the residents of Doral, so we continue to be the best place to live, work, learn, and play. That does have a cost. And while our job is to find it to be the least cost for our residents, and that's what we're doing by reviewing our fees, by creating and investing in assets that will generate more revenue, by continuing to incentivize so that more businesses are opening up here, so that there's more opportunity. Those are the things that we're doing to make sure that we can lower your taxes. Now, I can tell you, at least from my end, and I think I could speak for at least 2 other members of this council, we will be there advocating so that there is a reform, but a responsible reform that doesn't undo the work that we've done in this city for the past 25 years. Because I can tell you, when Odel Torres was out there making sure that our city became a city and we incorporated, it was to make sure that these residents here got the service that they deserved. That he got a 2-minute response time and he could come to this council meeting and make sure that code compliance was out there tomorrow. That's why they voted, to make sure that this was a city. But that has a cost, and they know that. And I think most of our residents know that. So while our job is to be fiscally responsible, and I can tell you, at least from my part, every time I've been able to roll back the rate we have, and it's been on a consistent basis, this city has not grown in its spending faster than what we've grown as a city. As a matter of fact, we just asked finance to run a report so we could go to the state and advocate with truth, with facts, with numbers, to show what a responsible city looks like, to show how much we've grown as a city to how much our budget has grown, how many employees we have, to compare other cities to what we've done, to show the responsible planning and government that we've had. But if we're not protecting our voters' wills, if we're not sitting here protecting home rule, who is? The state? They've done the total opposite. Preemption everywhere. So you want us to do away with our police departments and contract the sheriff's department. What would the response time be of our police? 10 minutes? To me, that's unacceptable. That's not the city I want to live in. So I caution my colleagues who are sitting here making a plea for a populist move when at the end of the day, the voters decide. And we can advocate, but it's our job to go out and responsibly educate. Responsibly educate. Otherwise, we're doing a disservice. So we need to make sure that we responsibly educate each voter that when they go to the ballot to vote on whatever reform may come of it, what those consequences may be, because we won't be able to go back from there. But I do want to continue to give my commitment to the residents of this community that we are looking at ways to continue reducing your burden. Every single day we look at it. Every single one of us sit around a table and find ways to cut. And to say that we have not sat there and told staff, next year we need to find a way to cut 10% more. We do it at every meeting. but we don't want to do it to the detriment of the city that we have built together. And that's what I'm proud of. So today, I'm proud of the budget that we have. I think that it's been done in the best way possible. And I would tell my colleagues who are voting against it again. And yes, there's been many times, I've been on the no side many times too. Many times I've been on the no side. But I've always come with a list of ideas and a list of suggestions of what to cut. So I asked one last time, where are the things we should cut? Where's the list? Vice Mayor Porras, you had a list of items last time. A public record requested it at least 3 times, and I'm still waiting for the list. I'm waiting to see the list that you had up here last time that you wanted to go through of suggestions of where to cut in this budget that don't affect our police department, don't affect our park services, don't affect code compliance, don't affect the building department, don't affect public works, don't affect our transportation, don't affect the roads projects, don't affect our investment in revenue generating assets. Where's the list? Where's what we need to cut? I haven't seen it. And I've requested it 3 times. As a matter of fact, I've requested it more than that. But formally, I've requested it 3 times. Still haven't gotten it. You had it up here last time. Why haven't we gotten it?
Do you want me to respond?
Well, I'm asking, where is the list? Give me the list of the items that we can cut that don't affect the services that you're telling people that we are fear-mongering. Because I'm still waiting for the list of items. When I'm done, you can respond if you have the list. Tell me everything that we can cut to get to that rollback rate. Because I still haven't seen it to this date. And we've had 1 budget workshop. Now this is a 2nd budget hearing. We've had plenty of times to come up here and actually provide that list. So those are really the comments that I have. I'm ready to vote. I don't want to waste anybody else's time because I think that we've invested so much of our time. All of you, people who came to the budget workshops, not only to the ones we had here, but the one that I held, all of our staff, every single one of you that went to every single meeting, we've invested a lot of time to be able to produce a budget that is service-driven, that is quality-driven, and that puts our residents first. So thank you again to staff. Any additional questions?
Can I answer?
Yes. Councilwoman Reynoso had a final comment, and then if the Vice Mayor wants to answer, go.
All right. Well, Mayor, in response to your open question, I want to remind that our seat 4, the sponsorship contribution that should be taken off the budget at the will of the councilwoman, was one of the things that we talked about last meeting. So I expect that to be removed from our budget as a line item. Okay? Next, Vice Mayor, don't be flattered. Be responsible. Leadership is not practiced. Leadership is not preached. It is practiced. And, let's go through a little list. You changed your political party without changing your values. You advocate for self-serving policies. And you abuse the public trust and information for political gain. Now, the reason why I showed the video of last year is because this whole entire budget cycle, you have been saying that we have raised our taxes. But yet last year, you said you agreed with the millage rate. So if we apply that same logic this year, all right, that would mean that last year you approved a raise in our taxes. Would that be correct?
Oh, I don't have to respond to you. Please finish.
Okay, great. So I'm going to take that as a yes. So again, if we would have applied that logic into this year's discussion, we would have raised our taxes. But since that logic doesn't make sense, and we're just accepting the millage rate as it is without an increase, that means that we're not increasing the taxes of our residents. So that's what I would like to put on the record, and that's what I would like to answer you.
All right. Final rounds of comments. Vice Mayor, you had some comments.
I find it very strange for you guys to sit here and have the audience and the residents believe that there's still a chance, or there would still be a chance to change your minds, to change the budget, because even if we came in again, which I tried to do during the first budget hearing, and if people remember, I was cut off at 10 minutes because it just wasn't important enough for us to really expand our conversation around the budget because there wasn't enough time. But to like sit here and say that this is the time to do it is really hypocritical because you know for a fact that this is not the time to do it, because last year when we tried doing that during the second hearing, that's when we forced our employees to stay until past midnight trying to redo the budget. So for you to say that now this is the chance, it's not. You have to be honest with the residents. The chance was during the first budget hearing, because even if, let's say, we agreed, we demonstrated that there is a lot of cuts that can be made, you wouldn't accept it. Because that means you would have to redo the budget like last year. And if you all remember, the budget last year didn't pass until midnight. It's not gonna happen. So why are you telling residents that this is the time? You should have allowed an honest and transparent conversation during the first budget hearing, which is exactly what should have happened right then and there. But it's fine. I know and I understand that the budget is set. I am opposing it. And another thing, this isn't a platform or the venue to talk political points. It's not. And if, for the residents that are listening, if something
Motion to call a
sounds
question.
good, don't let them convince you that it's political.
Mayor, the
It
question has
just
been called.
doesn't make
Yep.
sense.
Motion to call a
Okay,
question.
we have a motion on the table.
And that's why they're cutting me off again.
No.
We have,
That's right.
One
They
second.
love to cut me off.
Okay.
It's fine. I'm used to it. Silence.
I'm just done with your nonsense.
we have,
No more.
first of all, there's already a motion on the table for the budget. Now there's another motion on the table to call the question. Before we call the question, I don't think I said this was the last round of comments, but we all had our time to speak, so you can go ahead and finish your comments if you're done. We didn't clock anybody today, so if you want to go ahead and finish your comments, because there's another motion that's
I appreciate
proceeding,
that.
go ahead and finish your comments, and then this is it. There's not going to be any more comments after this.
I'm going to say this. I can make my points without personally attacking anyone here. So you should really watch out for how people convey a message to you. Are they attacking a person, or are they attacking an actual idea, proposal? I focus on the issue. I really do not care to personally attack anyone because it's not in my nature, and it doesn't make my argument any stronger. And I certainly do not call proposals and initiatives political in nature, because that's how they try to convince you that they're not right. And lowering and finding a responsible way to lower or to bring property tax relief is what we all want. I've said it again, and I'll say it again. We're not advocating for cutting essential services. We're not advocating for losing home rule. I am advocating for making sure that we do bring proper relief that's responsible and honest. And that's ultimately what I'm hoping that our leaders from the state are going to bring us. So if anyone here has said anything about cutting essential services, is everyone else. I've never said that. I don't agree with it. And I think that we can find a sensible and smart solution.
Okay.
That's it.
All right, so I'm going to clarify two things, and we're going to go ahead and call the question. One more time, you're entitled to your own opinion, not your own facts. And unfortunately, you're giving a lot of opinion and no facts. So once again, I hope that my public records request is responded to, so that way I could see the list. And it's not truthful to say that you didn't have the time. I gave plenty of time, and we had a workshop, and you could have met with staff. There's many opportunities to present your list of cuts that could have been given that were not essential services. I still have not seen that. That is a fact. That is a fact, not an opinion. The fact is, the list was never provided, nor to staff, nor to any of us, of what your suggested cuts in this book of numbers could have been. Because if a true list would have been provided, we have something to debate and discuss. But nothing was ever provided by your office. So while you may not want to make it political, you've made it political many times before. You're not entitled to your own facts. We'll call the question now.
I have a motion to approve ordinance number 2025-36 on second reading made by Councilman Pinedo and seconded by Councilman Reynoso. Councilman Pinedo?
Yes.
Councilwoman Reynoso?
Yes.
Councilwoman Cabral?
No.
Vice Mayor Porras?
No.
Mayor Fraga?
Yes.
Motion passes.
All right, we have one final item, Madam Clerk. Please read it into the record.
Item 5C, a resolution of the mayor and the city council of the city of Doral, Florida, approving the job descriptions, applicable salary scale, and applicable performance measures and metrics for positions in the 25-26 fiscal budget as approved by the city council, approving the updated citywide pay plan to include new positions, headcount change, and approved budget adjustment, providing for implementation, incorporation of recitals, and an effective date.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and open up.
Not a
I
public
don't have the public hearing for this one? Okay, I'm not gonna open up, sorry. You cannot come to the next meeting to speak on public comments. Madam City Manager, do you have any comments on this item?
No, Mayor. The item speaks for itself as to, again, corresponding, authorizing the corresponding job description metrics and applicable pay scale, as well as the updated pay plan.
Okay, perfect, thank you very much. Any questions for the administration at this time?
I have a quick question.
Yes, Vice Mayor Porras.
Are these jobs included in the budget right now? These are new?
Yes, Vice Mayor. These are positions that were part of all of the positions that were added, and they're just new classifications because they're positions that we need to approve and the pay scale for them.
So they're new positions?
Yes.
Okay.
Part of the new positions that were added, yes.
Okay. All right, any other questions? All right, I just want to have one question for edification of the public that maybe did not get to see the backup. The positions that are being added are based on our strategic planning. They're positions for Central Park, mostly as well. I believe the code compliance position. No new positions to administration or the mayor and council or anything like that.
Excuse me, Mayor. Through the Mayor. We have the designations of the new positions and reclassifications that were determined through job analysis conducted by Evergreen. Some of them are technicians, electrician, the code compliance technician. So some of them were ones that we have added this year that are new, and some of them are reclassifications.
Right, what I would like to clarify, because I know my people, what I would like to clarify is the positions that are being added were identified not only for example, parks, the new parks positions that were being added, but also, for example, the electrician was because we did analysis of how much we were spending on electrical work. We were spending much more on contracted work, so we decided to bring on our own in-house electrician because of the amount of work. Code compliance is the service of the litter that we've seen around the city and making sure that we have someone to go out and pick it up. We're still gonna find people who have trash around their property, but now it'll be more of a direct service from the city to make sure that it's not unsightly. So continues the beautification. I just wanna make sure that it's on the record. There's no additional positions being added to mayor and council. There's no positions being added to your office.
No, not now. No.
And right now in this position,
No,
in this, that we're-
and not in
that we're-
this budget. The
Okay, not in this
positions
budget at all.
Talking about were added in
Okay.
last year's.
Okay, perfect. I just want to put it on the record, clarified, that the positions that are currently being added were the ones that have been analyzed for savings of services and, okay. Any other comments or questions? All right, let's go ahead and call the question. Or I need a motion. Sorry,
Motion.
I don't have a motion. Motion to approve by Councilman Pinedo, second by Councilwoman Reynoso. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Motion to approve made by Councilman Pinedo, seconded by Councilwoman Reynoso. Councilman Pinedo?
Yes.
Councilwoman Reynoso?
Yes.
Councilwoman Cabral?
No.
Vice Mayor Porras?
No.
Mayor Fraga?
Yes.
Motion passes.
All right, motion's passed. All right, we now have a budget. Before we adjourn this meeting, I want to just once again caution my colleagues that when you're out there speaking to residents, that you think about what you're doing as far as educating responsibly our residents about what is happening, what this budget means, the services that we provide. And remember that the majority of the council is the will of the council. So we're all entitled to our opinions, not our own facts. This book is the facts. So make sure that if anybody has any questions, you reach out to us. It's all available online for our residents that are watching. You can absolutely check out the entire budget completely. Email us, call us, ask us questions. And I would respectfully ask that my colleagues remain truthful. Remember the Citizens' Bill of Rights. Thank you very much. God bless you all. And we'll see you at our next council meeting in October. I need a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Motion to adjourn by Councilwoman Reynoso.
Second.
Second by Councilman Pinedo.